To solve this question, we're looking for the amount of numbers in the range 10 to 100 inclusive that are even and not divisible by 3. So if we think about kind of the range of numbers that we have, our range would be 10 to 100, and this is inclusive. And we can kind of picture what's happening here. So imagine this box represents all of the possible numbers between 100 or 10 and 100 inclusive. We have about half of them are going to be even and half of them are going to be odd, right? Just because we have a range. And that's about, we haven't figured out the actual number yet. And then we have, out of all of these numbers, the possible numbers that are divisible by 3. So if we have kind of a chunk of numbers are even, a chunk of numbers are odd, and somewhere we do have kind of these that are actually divisible by 3. Now some of these numbers that are divisible by 3 are going to be odd, and some of these numbers divisible by 3 are going to be even. Think even just the number 3 and the number 6, right? Both are multiples of 3 and divisible by 3, but that first one, 3, is odd and 6 is even. So when we're talking about how many even numbers in the range between 10 and 100 inclusive that are not divisible by 3 would actually be like this portion. Well, let's choose another color. That kind of portion of our graph over here. So when we're looking to find how many numbers exist in this portion, we're really interested in taking how many even numbers we have in this range and subtracting those that are divisible by 3. Those even numbers that are divisible by 3. And we don't want to count the ones that are odd. So this portion right here, the divisible by 3 and even, so all of this guy, this kind of portion of our circle right here, that actually are numbers divisible by 2, right, that are even, and divisible by 3. And those are actually numbers that are divisible by 6. So when we're looking for the number that we're trying to find, how many numbers exist in this orange portion, we're actually looking for the total number of even numbers that are in this range, and we're going to subtract the total numbers that are divisible by 6 in this range, because that is what this little kind of sliver represents. So it's kind of a nice visual to think about what exactly we're trying to find. And let's go ahead and let's do the calculations down here. So first we need to find all the even numbers in 10 to 100, and this will be inclusive. So we need to count the endpoints because both 10 and 100 are even. So let's take the odd ones, let's kind of bump this in and take the odd range from 11 to 99 and find the difference in the largest odd and the smallest odd. Divided by 2, and that's actually going to give us the amount of even numbers in that range. And then we'll go ahead and add in the endpoints for the inclusive part in a second. So 99 minus 11 gives us 88. Divided by 2 would give us 44. And that's not inclusive, right, because we counted the range from 11 to 99. And so we're going to add in the 10 plus 100. So that would be a 44 plus, we have 2 extra even numbers. The 10 and 100 are endpoints. So plus 2 would give us 46. And this is the total amount of even numbers that we have. And if we go back to kind of our graph here, we actually have in here, this would be 46. I shouldn't say pointed to exactly the orange. It's this entire portion over here would be 46. Okay, so to find the orange portion, we still need to find how many numbers are divisible by 6 in this range. So let's scroll down and calculate how many numbers those are. So divisible by 6, and this is in the range 10 to 100. And the easiest way to find this is to take a look at the multiples. And if we think about multiples of 6, we can go through, and the first multiple of 6 that's between this range, the 10 to 100, would be 6 times 2, which would give us 12. and that's the second multiple of 6. So we can run through all of the multiples, and we would end up with the largest multiple that would land us in this range, so less than 100, would be 6 times 16. And that's equal to 96. We just run through all of the multiples if we want. And counting those up, we have the second multiple, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. And that would actually end up with 15 multiples of 6 that are in this range. And mathematically, we can calculate that by subtracting the 16th multiple minus the second multiple. But that kind of excludes one of the endpoints. We have to add back in 1, and that ends up with 15. So either way, we can count them through if it's quick enough for you. So there are 15 numbers that are divisible by 6 that are in this range. Now we said that if we scroll back up from our picture that we have, we actually have our divisible by 6. There are 15 of them that are in there. So finding our orange here, our orange we said is going to be our total even numbers, which are 46, minus those divisible by 6, which is 15, and that leaves us with 31. So our final answer choice is 31, and that would be answer choice C.